And a pleasant good day to all of you. Today we are going to be talking about latitude and longitude. If you missed class or you missed notes, or maybe if you just need a little extra help with your latitude and longitude, that's what we're going to work on today. So today let's start by looking at a world map here and talking about the two main lines that help us to understand a little better the latitude and longitude lines. Our latitudes are also called parallels, and they run east and west, and they are based off of the equator, which is at 0 degrees. And so if we all know what the as fifth graders, you probably all know what equator is, and so we base our parallels off of, here's the word parallels, we base those off of what the equator is, and each of those lines is parallel with the equator, and they are all named in the number of degrees that they lie from 0 degrees on the equator. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, all the way up to 90 degrees at the North Pole. And then we also have what's known as the Prime Meridian. This is not as well known to us in North America, but the Prime Meridian runs north and south from the North Pole to the South Pole. Over here, look, it runs right through parts of Europe. It cuts Spain almost completely off here, and then all the way through parts of Africa as well, and then down into Antarctica. Of course, these are not real lines. You would not see these are imaginary lines. You would not see these in the middle of the ocean or drawn on the land somewhere. So these are the main lines that help us to understand the latitude and longitude lines. The Prime Meridian is the main longitude line, and we call those longitude lines meridians. So this is the prime or main meridian, and then all these other lines that come out from that are called meridians. And you can see up along the top, these are numbered all the way to 180 degrees. Let's take a look at the next page. Here I have labeled Portugal. Portugal is a country off of this peninsula right here, off of Spain, that we were just kind of talking about. And Portugal, we would say that it is at 40 degrees north. See, it's on the 40 degree north line, latitude line, or parallel. And then it is down from 10 degrees, and this is west of the Prime Meridian. So we look at the north lines. They are north of the equator, so this is 40 degrees north latitude, 10 degrees west longitude, or thereabouts, very close. So that would tell us where Portugal is located if somebody wanted to know. Then down here I've also labeled Madagascar, and kind of along the coastline, you know, it's a little larger. And so along the coastline here, we would call this, if we start with our latitude line first, it is at 20 degrees south, because it is south of the equator, 20 degrees south latitude. And looking at the Prime Meridian now, we have to head east. So it's at 50 degrees east. So 20 degrees south, 50 degrees east would be the latitude and longitude. Notice we always start with latitude numbers and we end with the longitude. Okay, so let's take a look at the United States of America. And if we put a mark here where our state capital, I am in Missouri, and our state capital is located pretty centrally here within Missouri, and it is known as Jefferson City. So if I was going to try to name Jefferson City in latitude and longitude, of course, I always want to start with my latitude lines. We are north of the equator, as you can see over here. I have that. That's what these lines mean. So this would be 40 degrees north of the equator. This is 35. So we're kind of in between there. I would call that 38 degrees north latitude. And then if we look at our lines, our meridian lines, or our longitude lines, we can see that we are between the 90 degree line and the 95. I'd call that probably 93 degrees. So if we're going to write this, and now my penmanship will be very bad here, I'm sorry, we would call this 38 degrees north, comma, and then we would call this, what did I say, 93 degrees, get up there, west. All right, now, for most major concerns, this would be good enough. That you could even get more specific than these directions here. We could get an absolute location by using minutes and seconds also of these degrees, and so we will get into that probably later. So this has been a lesson on latitude and longitude. Hope this helps you to get through your lessons this week.